Roxanne Perez's strain of bad luck continued this week, so we'll see where that could be going. We'll also check out what's up with Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and more. Starting things off with the latest for Roxanne and what's happening with her story. Things have not been going smoothly for Roxanne in recent weeks. One of her mentors was kicked out of the family, she got eliminated extremely early in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and she's on a massive losing streak. And all of these bad trends continued for Roxanne on the June 15th edition of Raw. Roxanne had spent the weekend trash-talking Charlotte Flair online, telling her how the Judgment Day is going to win the Queen of the Ring tournament, how she doesn't stand a chance, and how Charlotte better not show her face on Monday Night Raw. Charlotte responded to Roxanne's comments by showing up to Raw and getting a match booked against Roxanne for all that online trash-talking she was doing. We also saw a backstage segment with Roxanne and Liv, in which Roxanne was telling Liv about how horrible Raquel was feeling after getting eliminated from the Queen of the Ring tournament. Liv kind of dismisses what Roxanne was saying, and talked about how the group should just be focusing on Dominic and herself since they were still in the tournament. This was a brief 30-second long conversation between Roxanne and Liv, but even this quick moment shows you the deep differences between these two characters. Roxanne has empathy. She feels for Raquel and what she's going through after getting eliminated from the tournament. Versus Liv Morgan, who has no empathy and could not care less about Raquel's emotions and feelings coming out of that Queen of the Ring tournament loss. So in one hand you got Roxanne being a pure-hearted faction member who cares about how her fellow Judgment Day members are doing, and then in the other hand you've got Liv Morgan, who's all about herself and doesn't truly care about what her faction members are going through. So that backstage hallway segment between Liv and Roxanne really mirrored the differences in their characters and personalities. Liv even paid Danhausen a visit, looking to see if she could get him to curse Obafemi ahead of his match against Dominic Mysterio. Which that itself is another example of Liv Morgan going the extra mile for her boyfriend Dominic Mysterio, but she never really goes the extra mile for any other Judgment Day member. We did get to the actual match between Roxanne and Charlotte, and there's more subtle storytelling clues happening. Like during Roxanne's entrance, Liv Morgan zoned out a few times during that entrance to look at the Queen of the Ring crown. Which again fully shows and displays that she's still focused on only herself at all times. Liv was out there though for Roxanne's match against Charlotte Flair, and Liv did try to help and get involved from outside of the ring. Only issue was that Alexa Bliss was there to cancel Liv out and keep things fair. And after Alexa fully eliminated Liv from the equation, Charlotte Flair eventually gained control of the match and made Roxanne tap out. Once again extending Roxanne's current losing streak. Roxanne did recently pick up a win over Maxine on the main event brand, but speaking of strictly the main roster brands of Raw and Smackdown, Roxanne is winless on those shows for over the last few months now. Nothing is going her way, and no matter how hard she tries, she just loses every big match that comes her way as of late. Roxanne is of course not getting punished. Her losing streak isn't a result of anything bad. Her losing streak is just connected to the story right now. They're having Roxanne lose all these matches in order to grow her current frustration and pretty much use it as a device to really pull her away from the other Judgment Day members. Roxanne looks around to see the world title on Liv's waist. Everything is going well for Liv, while Roxanne herself can't catch a break at all and can't win a single match. So Roxanne's losing streak appears to be simply narrative to emphasize that story there. Once Roxanne does eventually break free from Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day, maybe that's when the wins will start pouring in for Roxanne. But as of this current moment, it seems like Roxanne will continue to lose all of her matches because that's the story they're telling right here with this situation. What keeps this story really interesting is the fact that in television, and in life in general, you just never know someone's true intentions. They can be telling you something straight to your face, but quietly working on a whole different agenda behind your back. And that's what a lot of fans are wondering about here when it comes to Roxanne Perez specifically. Roxanne portrays this image to the Judgment Day that she's extremely committed and loyal to the group. But is she really? That's the big question that's interesting here because there's been a few questionable moments lately. Like when Finn snuck into the Judgment Day's locker room to speak with Roxanne after he got kicked out. Roxanne could have snitched right there on Finn if she was really loyal to the Judgment Day. But instead, Roxanne kept her lips sealed and rushed Finn out of the locker room for his safety. And then the other week on Raw, Roxanne turned down an invite from Liv to hang out with the Judgment Day. And that itself was also suspicious, because if Roxanne truly lives and breathes everything related to the Judgment Day, then why would she turn down an offer to hang out with them? So that appears to be the main hook right now with this story. Other characters within the Judgment Day don't really know Roxanne's true intentions right now. And we, the audience, also don't really know Roxanne's true intentions at the moment. So that part of the story is ambiguous at the moment, and we'll have to see if it grows. Another concern about this story is if it will have enough content to stretch it for months, because this is one of those signature, very slow-burning storylines. We're not seeing Roxanne split from the Judgment Day anytime soon. The split can probably happen maybe around fall time, maybe even into next WrestleMania season. We know they really like to take their times with these types of storylines. So if it's going to be that long before the ultimate payoff, hopefully they do keep it fresh until then with a lot of big things happening in the story. Cody Rhodes' current situation right now with his WWE title is getting pretty intense. Gunther has been Cody's main rival coming out of WrestleMania season. Their one match together ended in controversy after Gunther had his foot under the ropes during the final pin count of the match. That led to Gunther demanding a rematch against Cody and also getting the right to pick the stipulation as well. Gunther ended up going with the special guest referee stipulation, and he chose Sami Zayn to be that special guest referee, which is a genius selection by Gunther considering the events that unfolded earlier in the night. Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn exchanged some heavy words with each other in the middle of the ring that night on Smackdown that ended with Cody delivering some slaps to Sami Zayn. Cody and Sami's issues actually go way back to earlier in the year, where Cody stole the Elimination Chamber qualifier win from Sami Zayn. And also the recent situation where Sami Zayn just let Gunther put Cody in the sleeper hold and just watched. A lot of drama going on there. Cody and Sami are not on great terms right now, especially not after those slaps Cody gave Sami. And Gunther saw that as the perfect opportunity and perfect reason to make Sami Zayn his special guest referee. Gunther's feeling like Sami has so much hatred in his heart right now for Cody Rhodes that Sami Zayn will call the match more in Gunther's favor, which is a smart call by Gunther's character. Judging by how the story has been unfolding so far, it also seems like this may turn into a triple threat program and Sami may get thrown into this Gunther and Cody feud as well. So expect this feud to definitely get a bit more hectic for sure. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.